With the recent news of Akira Toriyama's passing, I wanted to take some time and celebrate some of my favorite, not even just anime, just some of my favorite pieces of art. What's going on, everybody? My name is Omar Farouk. I am a licensed therapist specializing in trauma-informed care. So for this week, I had a different video planned out, but after finding out the news of Akira Toriyama's passing, I just felt this urge inside of me to put some of my favorite things together: mental health and Dragon Ball Z. I understand this is not going to be the most clean execution. I don't know if Dragon Ball has the most amazing commentary about mental health or anything, but I'm sure I'll find a way to bring those two worlds together, and I hope you enjoy whatever concoction I put out as a video. And as you could already tell, I grew up with Dragon Ball Z. I've seen Dragon Ball Z before. This is not going to be a reaction to my first time watching. This is more so just me revisiting my childhood with the therapist hat on. I've hand selected just a few of my favorite Dragon Ball Z moments, and I just want to take some time, enjoy, and have some commentary over them. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. Cell versus Gohan is it's so amazing. Can we just talk about how underrated of a character Vegeta is? I know I'm not the only one who says that, but I feel like Vegeta really got screwed throughout the progression of Dragon Ball. So the father-son Kamehameha is so incredible. Oh my god, this is such a beautiful execution. Dude. What does he say? I'm perfect, I think? Dude, that's crazy. Okay, so I have so much to say about the father-son Kamehameha. So if you've seen this episode or seen the multiple, I don't know how many episodes it took for them to end their beam struggle, I can't remember. Everyone knows Dragon Ball Z filler is the best. Gohan, while he's about to charge up and get ready for the Kamehameha, has a lot of self-doubt. His arm is busted and he doesn't really have the confidence to be like, I can't do Kamehameha without my two hands. And all of a sudden he hears Goku's voice contacting him from the other world. His own father telling him hey dude, the only thing that's holding you back is your own doubt. Eventually Gohan charges up a one-handed Kamehameha and blast Cell to hell. But before he could do so, he's struggling. That beam clash and that balancing back and forth, it's such an incredible visual representation of what trauma healing could even be like sometimes, at least in the ways that I'm trained to understand trauma. Trauma healing can be a balancing act, or sometimes it can become a power struggle if you're not careful, in which the traumatic experience that you're trying to heal might have a lot of charge to it, a lot of emotional charge. My professor, Dr. Vasquez, would describe in a way, if it's too hot to hold, we have to learn to put gloves on, right? And that could be your grounding exercises, your resourcing exercises. For those of you who haven't seen my previous content, resourcing is a way within psychotherapy where we kind of get in touch with grounding or breathing exercises or any type of skill that brings some regulation into your nervous system. Basically, your resourcing could be looked at as calling back up in your struggle with addressing trauma. I mean, I think you guys know where I'm going with this. Gohan and his beam struggle with Cell kind of gets that back up in the form of Goku's voice. And it's kind of left vague whether or not Goku actually was there to assist him in that father-son Kamehameha. We don't know if he was really there in person or if Gohan was just imagining it. But from a trauma-focused perspective, it is very normal for clients to imagine or just kind of tap into memories of their loved ones as a buffer against facing the traumatic experience, or putting on that glove, like I mentioned, before they touch something that's very sensitive, that before they get into contact an emotion that's very hot. You can say that Gohan is resourcing his father's presence as a way to build some resilience to address this form of trauma. And also, like, he has the help of friends in the process of it. Like, we know that Vegeta, I think even the rest of the Z fighters kind of join in on attacking Cell at once. Obviously, by no means am I saying that you and your community should get together and beat up the one person that caused you trauma or anything. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is that, like, the way I define resiliency is your ability to utilize your support system in order to address and heal from an adverse experience, whether it be traumatic or not. Your body needs that sense of belongingness within the community in order to survive, in order to thrive. And Gohan has that within his father, his friends, and his family.
All I have to do is become a Super Saiyan and believe.
Try believing someplace else.
Yeah, I feel like they also did Adult Gohan really dirty. I mean, I love Adult Gohan, especially Future Gohan, so cool. But I feel like I wish there was more. Oh my god, that is so cool.
I knew Kai was doing something, but
This is awesome.
What I love about the form so much is like this return to basics, I guess. I think when we're addressing trauma when I work with my clients, it's understanding that, you know, clients will often come in where like, I need to get to this one place, I need to be like this, and I need to achieve that one thing in order to be complete. And, you know, I don't say this directly because that's not the correct way to quote unquote therapize someone, but essentially like the goal is to have them find on their own that they don't need to get anywhere, that they're complete as they are. No amount of external factors, whether it be the amounts of time you hit the gym in the week or the type of partner you get in your life, the romantic partner you get in your life, or relationship status you get into, none of that is going to bring you like permanent happiness. All the answers you need are like within. And I know this sounds very corny. I know this is like the theme of every fairy tale movie or whatever, but it's honestly true. Like once you really tap into your body's ability to heal your trauma, you wake up the next morning and you're reflecting on your process. You're finding that it's all within. We're seeing the same types of stuff come out of psychedelic assisted therapy within meditative practices where you're getting tapped into your sense of self and you have this almost like this all loving understanding that you are one with everything around you. And if you're one with everything around you, then everything you need is right in here. It's a little abstract, but I don't know, that's what I kind of think of when I see Gohan's ultimate form. Like, he got it. He's good.
But look at him, he's normal. He's stronger than he ever was as a Super Saiyan, but he looks like he hasn't changed a bit. I didn't know sitting still for such a long time could do that for you.
I mean, we even see Goku say, who knows that sitting still would do so much for you. I mean, that's literally meditating. I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of a practice to it and practicing your awareness, but it turns out you get to find out a lot about yourself when you sit and observe your thoughts and your breath.
Up goes the weasel.
I won't let you get away with this!
Sometimes when we're navigating grief, feelings of rage can absolutely manifest, especially when it's like traumatic grief in this instance where someone actually rips away a loved one from your life. And we're seeing that reaction coming up from Goku. Yeah, there it is. Let's go. Wow. You know, simple, basic Super Saiyan is one of the coolest transformations. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the aesthetic of Super Saiyan 2. I especially love the aesthetic of Super Saiyan 4, even though it's not canon. But the OG Super Saiyan, like, oh, shoot, that reminds me. I'll be right back.
I trim my beard, slick my hair, now I'm running late. I wear my flyers, fit uncomfortable, but it's a date. Do a mask.
I almost forgot my Goku necklace. The Super Saiyan made me think of that. Let's put this bad boy on. Anyways, as I was saying, the OG Super Saiyan, I don't think anything could really top that, you know? So, I mean, if we watch the scene unfold, we know that Goku kind of screams at Gohan and tells him to get out and get away from this area as far as possible. And everyone's kind of like, whoa, Goku's kind of like an asshole here. And I mean, I don't think so. Like, this kind of reminds me of like when people get angry and other people claim to say that they have an anger problem. They'll say like, oh, he's very different when he's angry. He's not himself when he's angry. And like, it's true. Like, you enter a different state of consciousness, right? Like you're looking through this filter of emotion, and in this case, we're seeing rage. And I think Dr. K from Healthy Gamer GG talks about this much better than I could. But I think that comes from our intolerance of anger as a society, where I think it's great that we're finally getting to a place where we're starting to accept multiple different emotions as part of like human experience, because we've literally evolved and our body finds function and utility out of all of our emotions. But we seem to like leave anger behind. We seem to like discourage people from being angry. We say that, hey, like that's not okay, don't get angry with me, that's toxic or whatever. And I mean, anger is just as functional and just as important as sadness. Anger is just as important as happiness. Anger is just as useful and healthy as any other emotion. Instead of teaching kids as they're growing up to suppress their anger, we should instead be teaching healthier ways to express their anger. In this case, like Goku seems to have a very healthy relationship with this anger. He's focusing all that anger in his body. He's honoring the emotions that are coming up somatically, that are coming up in his body and as a form of rage, and just kind of letting himself become one with it. And then we see him transform, transcend. I mean, obviously this is for the effect of the anime, for the show. He gets this big power buff and he's able to fight the big bad guy. I don't see this as too inaccurate from a trauma-focused perspective. Like, sometimes like in the therapy office, it does look like the client needs to learn how to get in touch with their anger and utilize that as a resource against what their traumatic experience is, as long as they're not a danger to anybody else or themselves in that moment.
I try to be everything y'all need me to be. Your family, your best friend, I people please. Truthfully, I'm terrified of all my homies leaving. I even miss my exes who had cheated on me. My only other friend is the voice inside my head. He keep telling me to focus.
Let's get off of that before you hurt yourself. Oh, ow, okay. Dr. Gaber Mati talks very beautifully about the role of anger. It's one of the most important emotional expressions we have, because it shows the environment, it shows the people in the room when you're angry, like someone or something has crossed some boundaries, and anger comes out when we're not really heard, and it's kind of like nature's last defense at upholding a boundary so that we protect our autonomy. And essentially we see over here, like Frieza crossed a line, Goku naturally gets upset and angry, and that was my cat. Time for him to address the source of his anger. All right. Anyways, much shorter video than usual today. Once again, I just want to take some time and celebrate the cultural impact of Dragon Ball Z, and really just spend some time revisiting, honestly, a show that raised me, for sure. I remember when I first found out about Dragon Ball Z, my cousin introduced me. I'm so grateful to him. He's like a big brother to me. And I think as South Asians, we grew up in a very traumatic household, right? There's different forms of trauma that I think my community is still navigating. And I want to emphasize, I don't think that's because of the culture. A lot of people excuse it by saying, oh, that's culture, that's our culture. No, I think our culture is a very beautiful thing. It's really unfortunate when we use the culture as an excuse for the horrible things that we might do to each other. So anyways, I think as a brown Muslim Pakistani American growing up in New Jersey, I don't think I'm the only one with this experience when I say Dragon Ball Z played a major role in raising me and informing me of my love for art, my love for creativity in the way that Akira Toriyama expressed through his artwork. I remember one of my earliest drawings when I really started to get passionate about drawing and sketching. I tried so hard to replicate this picture of Goku that I would see on Google Images, and I would eventually start to, at the time, become as good as I could at drawing all these Dragon Ball Z characters. And that was my first taste in enjoying art. And eventually after that, I transitioned from drawing to just filming goofy YouTube videos when I was in 5th grade, getting myself into all sorts of trouble, putting things on the internet, saying things on the internet that I shouldn't have been, I had no business saying. Eventually going from drawing to video to back to drawing to writing music, and then from writing music to producing music and making my own albums, and then going from making my own albums to getting into videography and photography professionally to making YouTube videos right now again, like full circle. Like there's so much like fluidity, like, you know what I mean? And I'm blessed to be in this place where I can dabble in whatever art I feel like in the moment, as long as I feel like it. And I honestly, like, I don't know where I'd be today without Dragon Ball Z. Like Dragon Ball Z, like 100% was the catalyst in really getting me to fall in love with this form of art that got me to fall in love with another form of art, Like, I'm so grateful, like so incredibly grateful for the impact that Akira Toriyama had on my generation and the generations to come. I'm seeing all sorts of like young kids getting back into Dragon Ball Z, and it's so cool. Dragon Ball will always have like a special place in my heart. Anyways, rest in peace, rest in power, Akira Toriyama. Your spirit will live on forever in our hearts, and I don't think the spirit of Dragon Ball is gonna die anytime soon. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Please comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what's your favorite Dragon Ball moment, or honestly, like any piece of art that Akira Toriyama had delivered. I know that his other work with Dr. Slump and all sorts of other mangas that like they don't really get as much love as Dragon Ball. So let me know down below what y'all love and anything I should check out. Anyways, this has been Omar Farouk. You've been watching Traumadelic Therapy. Comment, like, subscribe. Don't forget to wash your hands, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.
I think I'm just too afraid to get started. I try to do it, but I know this time I got this. I really hope I'm not late to the party. I try to fit in every time I get exhausted. I trim my beard, slick my hair, now I'm running late.